Hello and welcome to The Chaos of Scale, a podcast dedicated to helping scaling businesses navigate the human side of growth. I'm your host, Andy Golding, and today we're talking about what are we optimizing for? What are we optimizing for is a question that's really helped me define what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And today I'll be sharing more about it. As always, I promise to leave you with at least one thing to think differently about in how you show up and work with others, and at least one actionable step to help you show up as a rad, or even more rad, human at work. You know the drill. Please like, subscribe, share, and for some extra kudos and gratitude, please consider leaving a review. Speed, price, quality, efficiency. What are we optimizing for? My team and I once decided to have phone calls, one-on-one calls with all 190 of our main customers to engage with them personally. We were trying to build a better process. We were trying to test out some new products. And if we were trying to optimize for efficiency, having one-to-one calls with all these people was a terrible way to do it. But we weren't trying to optimize for efficiency. We were optimizing for relationships and really connecting with our customers, both the existing and long-standing ones, but all of our highest value customers. So often we fall into the default of optimizing to get it done. We're in a busy scale up. We have so much to do, so many competing priorities. So we just want to get it done. But sometimes getting it done doesn't really give us the desired results. And often done doesn't mean the same thing as done properly. And this is where our Chaos of Scale Guideline 1, Pause for Quality, becomes so important. Done versus done properly. In one role that I worked in, I worked with stakeholders from various departments, and I often relied on their input and their contribution to get the work that I was doing done. And often my fastest route to done would be send out a good old group email and see what happens. But we all know what happens with group emails. Nothing. Because a group email is everybody's noise and nobody's work, and there's so much space to hide and drag our feet. So instead, what I started to do is send a personal email to each person individually. I would throw in something of our personal connection of, hey, I've been listening to that band that you told me about. I'm really enjoying this song. Or I enjoyed your presentation in the all hands meeting. Congratulations on achieving X. What this does is, firstly, it creates a connection and it makes it personal. And then I make my ask. And I'm absolutely not optimizing for getting this personal email sent and making the ask quickly. I'm optimizing for building connection whilst I get the thing done. I can choose to be demanding or quite brash or short in my messages to them, or I can make an effort to establish connection. I can recognize their reality. They're busy. They're team leads in a busy scale up. They're navigating their own chaos, and now I need something from them. I'm adding work to their plate. But I've really found that making my ask directly, one-to-one, and making it personal and pausing for quality to build some connection has been such an effective tool in getting what I need from already busy people. It's really difficult to hide in direct communication. And I actually do this a lot in my personal life as well, with running in particular. I always ask, okay, in this particular run, what am I optimizing for? I'm optimizing for speed. Okay, great. What is my ideal pace for each kilometer that I'm running? Or I'm optimizing for distance. Perfect. Then what sections and what pace can I divide the run into to keep it manageable? By knowing what I'm optimizing for, I can plan every other action that I take accordingly. Another example is in a role that I had, we needed to overhaul our website, and we wanted to really optimize the quality of feedback and the quality of review feedback. So instead of the team all just having a brief look at the site and giving some feedback, we divided every single page amongst ourselves everybody had to go deep and go thoroughly through the page, look at it on mobile, on multiple browsers, and we had to check all of these different things because we weren't optimizing for ticking website review off of our to-do list. We were optimizing for how do we get the best possible feedback and the best possible insight on how can we make this better. It was a pain. It was a really long time. It was a lot of effort invested. But the overhaul that we did was of such a high quality and would not have achieved that level of quality if we weren't clear on what we were optimizing for and if we didn't build the way that we worked for this optimization based on that. And sometimes optimizing for efficiency looks different at the outset. Often if we're optimizing for efficiency, it's not about the fast, get it done approach. We don't necessarily move at the pace that we're used to. We might need to move more slowly at first to get better results towards the end. And this is often very counter to what we experience as the reality in a scale up, where it's like, go, 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 get it done fast, ship it quickly. But sometimes that's not necessarily what we're optimizing for in this moment. I love asking the question in brainstorms, especially when we're building a new product or mapping out a new idea, what are we optimizing for? And just seeing where it leads the conversation. Because firstly, are we even aligned on what we're optimizing for? Am I thinking that we're optimizing for sales? Are you thinking that we're optimizing for speed to launch? Is somebody else thinking that we're optimizing for product lifecycle? If we're not even on the same page about that, we're probably all thinking about how we problem solve for this or how we do this thing differently. Another question that I enjoy asking is, what does success look like? And I think these two questions are brilliant together. When we're starting a project, well, what does success look like? So when we get to the end of this, when we pop out the other side, what do we want to have achieved? And then in the process of what do we want to have achieved, what are we optimizing for? How are we going to go about it in how we get this done? So if we're undertaking an exercise that involves data gathering from a lot of people, what does success look like? Does success look like every team submitting by the deadline? Or does success look like us getting the highest possible level of quality in terms of response and feedback from every team? What are we optimizing for? If we want to get it done, then we can just send them an email telling them we need them to fill this thing in and by this date. But if we're optimizing for getting high quality input, then we need to make sure that we write a brilliant brief with detailed instructions. Remember, beware the curse of knowledge, guideline 2. What we need is obvious to us, and why we need it is obvious to us, but they're busy and distracted and probably paying half attention to our request anyway. So we need to make it as idiot-proof as possible. We need to be as clear as possible, as specific as possible, because if we're optimizing for quality, we got to set them up for success to deliver quality. If you're optimizing for sale price, what needs to be changed in the way that we build the thing, or what needs to be omitted from what we can offer if we're aiming to keep the prices down? If you're optimizing for experience, then what is the end-to-end experience journey that they will walk with you, and how can you influence each step of that to optimize that experience that they have? So before you start just running and doing the work, it's really useful to know, what are we optimizing for? Because it can guide you on how you take the next steps and what next steps you even take. So your action item from today: the next time that you are starting a new project or need something from the people around you, get clear for yourself on what are you optimizing for. If you're just optimizing to get it done, cool, do the thing, tick it off. If you're optimizing for building relationships and connection, fantastic. Take more time to focus on connecting with people and moving more slowly to get it done. If you're optimizing for high quality input from people, cool, take it slowly, write a proper brief, make your ask and why you're asking for it clear so that they have what they need to help you as best as they can. Knowing what you're optimizing for and letting that guide how you take action is incredibly valuable, especially inside of the chaos of scale when you've got 100 competing things coming at you at any given time. Thank you for joining us. If you found value in today's episode, please share it with a colleague who might be experiencing similar challenges. And also, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and review wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Mandy Golding. This is the Chaos of Scale. Remember, business growth is messy, but the human side doesn't have to be. Until next time.